Could Sydney's metro system ever match the efficiency and scale of Tokyo's world-class network? It sounds like a dream, but with the massive expansion plans underway, could it actually happen? Or are we just setting ourselves up for another transport disappointment? Right now, Sydney's metro is still in its early stages, but the government is pouring billions into new lines, promising faster, more reliable transport for the city. Meanwhile, Tokyo's metro moves over 8 million people every single day, running like clockwork with trains arriving every few minutes. If Sydney could reach even half of that level of efficiency, it would be a game changer for how people move around the city. But here's the real question. Do we have the vision, the investment, and the planning to make it work? Or will Sydney's metro end up as just another half-finished project that never quite lives up to the hype? Let's break it all down and see if Sydney's transport future really has what it takes to reach Tokyo-level greatness. Sydney's metro system is undergoing a massive transformation, aiming to reshape the city's public transport network and meet the needs of its growing population. The first major step came in 2019 with the launch of the Metro Northwest Line, a fully automated, high-frequency service stretching 36 kilometers from Tallawong to Chatswood. With trains arriving every 4 minutes during peak times, this line has set a new standard for Sydney's transport system, proving that a well-designed metro network can reduce congestion and improve daily commutes. But this is just the beginning. Several new metro projects are in the works, promising to expand the network and provide faster, more reliable transport across the city. One of the most anticipated expansions is the Sydenham to Bankstown link, expected to open in 2025. This project will convert part of the existing T3 Bankstown line into a modern metro service, allowing for more frequent trains and increased capacity. However, commuters are already bracing for a tough transition, with the line scheduled to shut down for at least 12 months starting in mid-2024. Despite the inconvenience, this upgrade is expected to make travel in Sydney's southwest much smoother in the long run. Another major addition is the Metro Western Sydney Airport line, set to open in 2026 to coincide with the launch of the new Western Sydney International Nancy Bird Walton Airport. This metro line will connect the airport to St Mary's, providing a direct and efficient transport link for Western Sydney. The government recently unveiled a prototype of the metro trains that will run on this line, showcasing modern features designed to enhance passenger comfort and efficiency. With construction moving rapidly, this project is expected to play a crucial role in shaping Sydney's future transport network. Looking further ahead, the Metro West project is projected to open by 2032. This ambitious plan aims to connect the Sydney CBD to Greater Parramatta, reducing travel times and boosting economic activity along the corridor. Experts say this line will be a game changer for Sydney's West, allowing for faster travel and better connectivity between key business and residential areas. However, questions remain over funding and whether the project will meet its deadline, given the government's history of delays with major infrastructure projects. While Sydney's metro expansion is promising, it still has a long way to go before reaching the level of efficiency seen in cities like Tokyo. The success of these projects will depend on proper planning, consistent investment, and ensuring that the mistakes of past transport projects aren't repeated. If done right, Sydney's metro could finally become the reliable world-class system that commuters have been waiting for. Tokyo's metro system. Tokyo's metro system is widely regarded as one of the best in the world, setting a gold standard for efficiency, coverage, and reliability. Established in 1927, the system started with a single 2.2-kilometer line between Ueno and Asakusa. Since then, it has expanded into a massive network of 9 lines operated by Tokyo Metro and 4 additional lines by Toei Subway, serving over 6 million passengers daily. This relentless commitment to expansion and modernization has kept Tokyo's transit system ahead of the curve. One of the key reasons behind Tokyo Metro's success is its extensive network coverage. Unlike many cities where public transport is concentrated in the central business district, Tokyo's metro extends deep into residential areas, ensuring that people across the city have access to fast and efficient transport. The system's high-frequency service is another major advantage. Trains arrive every 2 to 3 minutes during peak hours, reducing congestion and making commuting more predictable. Punctuality is another defining characteristic of Tokyo's metro. The system is renowned for its near-perfect on-time performance, with delays being rare and typically lasting no more than a few minutes. When delays do occur, even by a few seconds, announcements are made to inform passengers, and official delay certificates are issued for those who need to prove to their employers that they were late due to train disruptions. This level of reliability is something that Sydney commuters can only dream of. A major factor contributing to Tokyo's metro efficiency is its seamless integration with other transport modes. The metro is connected to an extensive network of buses, regional rail lines, and even private railway operators, making it easy for passengers to transfer between different modes of transport without hassle. This level of coordination allows for a truly interconnected transport system that prioritizes passenger convenience. Tokyo Metro's financial success further highlights its efficiency. In October 2024, the system made history by launching its initial public offering on the Tokyo Stock Exchange, raising an impressive 348.6 billion yen. This move demonstrated strong investor confidence in the metro's long-term viability and profitability, something that Sydney's transport planners should take note of when considering how to finance future projects. Challenges facing Sydney's metro expansion. While Sydney's metro is expanding, it still faces major challenges that could slow down progress. One of the biggest issues is the city's urban sprawl. Unlike Tokyo, which has a compact and densely populated urban core, Sydney is a spread-out city with many people living in outer suburbs far from the central business district. For the metro to be truly effective, it needs to cover these areas comprehensively, ensuring that residents in places like Penrith, Campbelltown, and the northern beaches have access to high-frequency rail services. Balancing high-density development with community concerns is another major challenge. The New South Wales government has proposed building 377,000 new homes by 2029, many of which will be in transport-oriented development zones near metro stations. However, local communities often resist high-density projects, fearing overcrowding, loss of green spaces, and changes to their neighbourhoods. While increasing housing density near public transport is crucial for making the metro viable, the government must find ways to address community concerns while still pushing forward with much-needed development. Political and financial hurdles remain a persistent problem for Sydney's metro expansion. Infrastructure projects in Australia are notorious for delays and cost blowouts, and the metro is no exception. The Sydney Metro West project, originally scheduled to be completed in 2030, has now been delayed indefinitely, with estimates suggesting it could cost upwards of $25.32 billion. These escalating costs and shifting timelines make it difficult for the public to trust that the government will deliver on its promises. For Sydney to develop a world-class metro system comparable to Tokyo's, these challenges must be addressed head-on. The city needs long-term transport planning that prioritizes public benefit over political cycles, better financial management to prevent cost overruns, and policies that encourage greater public transport usage. Without these changes, Sydney's metro risks becoming another costly, unfinished project rather than the game-changing transport solution that commuters desperately need. Opportunities for Sydney to learn from Tokyo. Sydney stands at a pivotal moment in its urban development, with the potential to transform its metro system by drawing inspiration from Tokyo's successful model. Implementing transport-oriented development is a critical step in this transformation. By focusing on creating vibrant, high-density communities around metro stations, Sydney can enhance accessibility and reduce reliance on private vehicles. This approach not only addresses housing shortages but also fosters sustainable urban growth. The New South Wales government's plan to build 377,000 new homes by 2029 in designated TOD zones exemplifies this strategy. However, balancing increased density with the preservation of Sydney's unique character remains a challenge that requires careful planning and community engagement. Prioritizing long-term investment in public transport infrastructure is another lesson Sydney can learn from Tokyo. Tokyo's extensive and reliable metro network is the result of decades of consistent investment and strategic planning. In contrast, Sydney's transport expansion has often been hampered by political and financial hurdles, leading to delays and cost overruns. For instance, the Sydney Metro West project has faced significant challenges, with its completion date pushed to 2030 at the earliest and costs escalating to $25.32 billion. To emulate Tokyo's success, Sydney must commit to sustained funding and a long-term vision that transcends political cycles, ensuring that infrastructure projects are seen through to completion without unnecessary delays. Enhancing service frequency and reliability is essential to building public trust, and encouraging the use of public transport. Tokyo's metro is renowned for its punctuality and high-frequency services, with trains arriving every few minutes. Sydney has made strides in this area. For example, the Sydney Metro City and Southwest services offer trains every 4 minutes during peak times. However, there is room for improvement to match Tokyo's standards. Consistently monitoring patronage and adjusting services to meet demand will be crucial in providing a dependable alternative to car travel, thereby reducing congestion and promoting a shift towards public transport. In short, Sydney has the opportunity to revolutionize its transport landscape by learning from Tokyo's exemplary metro system. Implementing transport-oriented development, committing to long-term infrastructure investment, and enhancing service frequency and reliability are pivotal steps in this journey. Achieving these goals requires not only strategic planning and financial commitment, but also robust public support and political will.